Hey, this is Briana for Unsigned and Unleashed, and I'm here with Ned from Title Fight. How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Awesome. Okay, so you guys are on tour with Pianists Become the Teeth, which is a really awesome band.
Yes, they are.
Yes. What's it been like touring with them?
It's been really cool. We only had met the guys maybe once or twice before the tour started, and they played a show with us in our hometown in around February of this year. We met them, they were really cool, and I really liked their new record. And we were putting together this tour, and our booking agent who works them threw up their name. He said they're kind of busy though, I don't know if it's gonna work. I said, I really hope that can happen. Everything kind of lined up just right. They were able to do it, and it's been really cool. We got to know those guys a lot better, and of course, they're an awesome band. They're really cool guys, and it's been really just a really good, fun tour so far.
That's awesome. Okay. So you guys are really supportive of your hometown, and you guys help out with this venue. So how has your local music scene sort of shaped Title Fight?
When we started playing music and started going to shows, our local music scene was very different, and there was a whole group of older guys that ran everything and booked the shows and ran record labels and did the bands and everything. And we really looked up to them, and they had a really cool outlook, and the way they did things was really inspiring. So seeing that at such a young age inspired us, and they kind of grew up, and some of them got real jobs, and some of them moved away and whatnot. And it just happens that we were the next generation of kids, and we were 15 years old when it happened, kind of, and so we were barely old enough. We weren't even old enough to drive, and we were trying to play as many shows as we can and write music and start all these bands and bring bands to our area and stuff, and it kept evolving and evolving to the point where last year we opened up a venue and started a label and do all this stuff, and it really came from the older guys in our area. It really paved the way for us, and I'm really proud to be where I'm from, because I think it's not a very interesting, well-known area. It's not New York City, it's not Philadelphia, it's not a place where bands have to come to.
Yeah.
It's the middle of nowhere, and the fact that bands do come there, bands come out of there is, I think that shows how hard we've worked, and I'm really proud of it.
That's awesome. Okay, so you guys tour really hard. I mean, you came off a Warped Tour, and you're touring now, and then you're going to Australia in March, I believe?
Yes.
So how do you keep up with tour life? How do you deal with it? Is it easy for you?
It's easy to a point. It's like anything, you get on a schedule, there's really no schedule, because some days you drive for 12 hours, some days you drive for 2 hours. Your sleep schedule depends on that, and who's driving and who got enough sleep. Every day is completely different, but somehow within that there is something that's very similar every day. And so, you kind of get in the swing of things and
get used to it.
Exactly. Just get used to it, and you're able to stay up late, you're able to drive all day, you're able to lift amps up 3 flights of stairs if you need to. And it's just everything just kind of, it becomes kind of monotonous, but at the same time in a good kind of way. We're doing something that we really like to do, and of course in anything there's stuff that gets boring and repetitive, but I think playing at the end of the day always makes it worth it. So that's cool, but I don't know, I don't have any things that I do. I just kind of
chill in the back with the iPod.
No, I drive.
The opposite.
I try and literally work myself to the bone until I pass out or get hurt, so I don't know.
Okay. That works for you?
I don't know. That's just how I like to do things, so.
Sweet. Okay, so one of the songs on the album, Make You Cry, sort of has this low, kind of Lemuria type sound to it. Do you know that band?
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool. So how do you decide, when you have a riff, how do you guys decide, when you want to take a song to, a more aggressive point or to, a more, softer side?
That song is actually pretty interesting, because the music itself, I'd say, is pretty aggressive. And it just, whenever you write something, you kind of have the feeling for it immediately. And it could, because the guitar part the first guitar part that Shane wrote was when it kicks in, it's a huge thing, and we knew that's how it was going to start from right when Shane wrote the part. And so we'd been playing this, and Shane had been messing around with vocals and stuff, and Shane wrote all the lyrics to that song, and he came to me, and he said, I have this idea, and here are the lyrics, and this is how I think they should go. And I said, okay, that's really cool, but they were pretty mellow, kind of low register kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, I think it would be pretty cool to do it this way, and I just literally sang the first melody that came to my head, and that's what came up. And Shane was, he had the idea in his whole head, in his head the whole time, that he wanted it to be a different way, and in my head it was, a completely different way from Shane, and then we pretty much, we had the two options, then we just kind of put it to a vote.
Okay.
And, it really varies song by song. There's some songs I feel like when we write them, they have one kind of path, and it's pretty easy to follow. But then sometimes you get to a song like "Make You Cry," and it could, we could have gone a bunch of different ways with that. So it really depends on how the lyrics are, how they fit the melody and everything. And so it's it really does. It goes song by song.
Okay. All right. So here's a more personal question. You are straight edge.
Yes.
And you are in a band and you're touring. And I guess like for me personally and for other people, like how do you deal with like, I don't know, what's going on around you, and how do you just deal?
I mean, I've never drank or done drugs or smoked or anything, in my whole life, and so I guess I kind of grew up learning or really not learning how to deal with things, and being on the road, it's like I said, like about the schedule thing. I'm kind of used to it at this point, and my usual technique is if something bad is happening, I'll kind of just hide. And that's not the best thing to do, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work on that, but I deal with the same way I deal with it at home. It's kind of just pretty much dwelling on it and kind of figuring it out until it gets fixed, pretty much. I guess in a way, what we do every night is kind of, it's the same idea. We're kind of doing something, and it's, we are kind of hiding behind something, where some people, I wouldn't say it's anywhere as near, alcohol or drugs or anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect the way that I behave or my mind or anything, but it is a coping mechanism, just like any other substance that people use. While I'd like to think it's healthier than those things, it's definitely it's just something that I've learned over time how to I get upset, I write a song about it, and then I sing it, and it's I think that's, for me, that's been my way of dealing with things, and it's definitely, I'd like to think that it's been better for me than whatever, getting drunk and forgetting about it, actually dealing with the problem and thinking about it and processing it. But it's never easy, no matter what. If you have something to hide behind, or if you don't, it's it always sucks. So at this point, like I said, I've never really had any desire to do any of that stuff, and I still don't. And it's just second nature at this point.
I really respect that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so the last question is, it's kind of a weird question, but every band kind of has that one song that like people are really excited about, and like they're like known for that song. Mm-hmm. So I guess like for fans and like for people who like title fight, it's like 27. Everybody wants to be 27. Yeah. So, how does it feel like as a band when you kind of have that song? Like, how do you feel about it? Does it ever get to a point where it's like you don't want to put it in the set list, or?
I don't think I don't want to put it in the set list, because it's not like I don't like the song. Yeah. I like the song. I think it's a good song. Yeah. But sometimes I don't want. It is kind of that song, and I don't want it to be. But it's weird because it's just kind of mixed emotions, I guess. I like it. We put a lot of hard work into it, and I think it's a good song. But it's weird. It's a song that people will be sitting there tuning, and people will yell it out. We'll play it, and people will go crazy and stuff. And that's a song that a lot of people will come up to me after we play and talk to me about. Yeah. And I don't want to be a band that is just,
No, let's not play it anymore.
yeah, I don't want to do that because it's not like I resent the song or anything, but I just don't want to be, I don't want to be known for just one thing. So whenever we write new stuff, we try and just write to the best of our ability. And I think that was 27 was one of the best songs that we've written up until that point. And I think with Floral Green, we pushed ourselves, and I think we have some new best songs. And, I don't ever want to be that band that, is playing 10 years down the road and they're playing a song that they wrote when they were 18, Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I'd like to, I'd like to always keep pushing ourselves and keep doing stuff that we're proud of and that people also enjoy. So, it's definitely a weird thing.
Okay.
But I can't complain that people like a song.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's a high class problem.
Alright. Okay, so now you know from Ned. Alright, so thank you so much for talking to me.
No problem, thank you.